Mainoumi Shuhei, just 5 feet 7 inches, entered professional sumo in 1990 with creativity and courage, using his small size to outsmart much larger opponents. On the Sumo Spirit channel, we share his remarkable journey and most iconic wins. Born on February 17, 1968, as Shuhei Nagao, Mainoumi Shuhei is a former sumo wrestler from Aomori, Japan. During the 1990s, he was one of the most popular sumo wrestlers, thanks to his wide variety of techniques and his indomitable fighting spirit when facing opponents nearly twice his size. He faced obstacles from the start, as his height of 5 feet 7 inches was considered too short to pass the Japan Sumo Association's physical exam. In an extraordinary move, he convinced a doctor to inject silicone into his scalp to meet the minimum height requirement. Thanks to this graft, he was able to join the Sumo Association and compete professionally in this Japanese sport. According to Mainoumi himself, he was furious with the JSA for imposing the 5 foot 8 inch height requirement, calling it completely arbitrary. He was determined to prove that even someone under 5 feet 7 inches could win, depending on their approach. Full of enthusiasm, he had no qualms about challenging authority. This bold act led to a rule change, allowing exceptions for amateur champions in similar circumstances. After just 4 tournaments in Makushita, he was promoted to the Juryo division in March 1991. He performed well there too, and following a series of strong showings, he was elevated to the Makuchi division in September 1991. His highest rank, it was Komusubi. In his top division debut, he secured 8 wins and earned his first technique prize, one of 5 he would win in his career. His vast knowledge of techniques earned him the nickname, the Warehouse of Techniques, as he employed up to 33 different moves to win bouts. In November 1991, he defeated the 6.8-foot, 441-pound Akebono using Mitakorozame, a triple attack of strength that involves simultaneously tripping one leg, grabbing the other, and pushing with the head against the opponent's chest to force him backward. However, while most observers thought it was Mitokorozame, the officials ruled it as uchigake. Mainoumi also had a highly unusual tachi-ai and sometimes used the neko damashi tactic, clapping his hands in front of his opponent's face to distract him during the initial charge. In this video, Hakuho the Goat did it in a surprising way to this clapping. Another signature move of the King of Technique was the Haso Tobi, or 8-boat jump, a lateral step during the tachi-ai that saw him leap into the air and reappear behind his opponent, as he did against Kitaka Chidoki in January 1992. He then defeated Kitaka Chidoki very well in the 1992 Hatsubasho. Mainoumi's dream of reaching Sanyaku came true in September 1994 when he was promoted to Komusubi. This rank is the 4th highest rank in professional sumo, just below Sekiwake. It's the lowest rank in the Sanyaku, the group of elite ranks at the top of the sumo hierarchy. However, the toll of these mismatched battles grew over time. In July 1996, during a bout against Konishiki, one of the heaviest wrestlers in sumo history at 606 pounds, he won, but at a cost. Konishiki fell on Mainoumi's left leg, fracturing it. The injury forced him to withdraw from the tournament. As a result, he was demoted to the second-tier Juryo division. It marked a turning point in his career. Mainoumi made a triumphant return to the top division in May 1997, but things had changed. The spark was still there, but the speed that once dazzled fans had faded. His legendary agility had taken a hit after the injury. By March 1998, he slipped back into the Juryo division. Despite his best efforts, he couldn't reclaim his former glory. He continued battling with heart and skill until finally retiring in November 1999. His legacy, however, was already sealed. If anyone in sumo brought back memories of Mainoumi, it was Takano Yama Shuntaro. With a slim frame and a bag full of tricks, he was a true throw specialist. Takano Yama didn't overpower, he outmaneuvered. His signature moves included the overarm throw, underarm throw, and the flashy hook-on inner thigh throw, the keikenage. He danced around giants with style and precision. Impressively, he mastered at least 37 different kamarit against 33 of Mainoumi. To pay tribute to this great sumo wrestler, check out his 10 best bouts. Number 1. Mainoumi Shuhei vs. Akebono in the Kyushu Basho 1991. From the moment of the tachi-ai, Mainoumi executed a daring strategy. In a split second, he ducked low, driving his head into the Hawaiian's chest. This feint prevented Akebono from securing his powerful grip on the mawashi, neutralizing his physical advantage right from the start. With Akebono momentarily off balance, Mainoumi attempted a shitateta shinage without success, then used both arms to block his rival's calves in the famous mitokoro zemi technique. By pinning Akebono's ankles to the ground, the giant lost his ability to step back or adjust his stance. Seizing the moment, Mainoumi surged forward with his entire body in an explosive push, causing Akebono to stumble. The Hawaiian giant fell heavily outside the dohyo, stunning the crowd. Number 2. Mainoumi vs. Musoyama in the Nagoya Basho 1994. Musoyama tried to impose his strength with frontal thrusts, but Mainoumi sidestepped the direct clash and moved laterally to unbalance his opponent. What followed was a thrilling back and forth, with Musoyama pursuing the nimble Mainoumi, who deftly evaded his grips. With spins and slides across the dohyo, the bout captivated the audience, who erupted in cheers. In a swift move, Mainoumi crouched low, positioned himself at a sharp angle to Musoyama's right, and grabbed his right leg from the inside with both hands while pressing against his torso. This caused Musoyama to lose his footing entirely, falling backward to the ground. It was an ashitori, one of the rarest techniques in elite sumo, which Mainoumi mastered as a specialist in low center of gravity takedowns. This victory marked Mainoumi's 5th consecutive win in the tournament, while Musoyama suffered his 2nd loss. Number 3. Mainoumi vs. Konishiki in the Nagoya Basho 1996. After the tachi-ai, Konishiki, with his 6 feet 1 inch and 628 pounds, charged forward with his trademark aggression, aiming to overwhelm Mainoumi with frontal thrusts. A natural strategy given his enormous weight advantage. However, Mainoumi dodged the initial onslaught by using neko damashi, clapping his hands in front of Konishiki's face to throw him off balance, then grabbing his mawashi. Despite Konishiki's size, he managed to drive Mainoumi to the edge of the dohyo, but the diminutive warrior willed himself back to the center. When the giant tried again, Mainoumi seized the opportunity to execute a shitate hineri, gripping under the mawashi to bring him down. Tragically, Mainoumi also fell, injuring himself in the process and forcing him to withdraw from the tournament. Number 4. Mainoumi vs. Wakahanada in the Kyushu Basho 1991. Wakahanada, with a significant height and weight advantage, opened with a powerful thrust, but Mainoumi quickly sidestepped to disrupt his balance. He then ducked low, slipping under Wakahanada's center of gravity to secure a grip on his mawashi. Finally, he applied a yori taoshi, driving his opponent downward while blocking his legs, forcing him to fall backward outside the dohyo. Mainoumi's victory further solidified his tournament record and once again demonstrated his expertise in counterattacking techniques that neutralized larger opponents' physical superiority. Number 5. Mainoumi vs. Kitakachidoki in the Hatsu Basho, 1992. This bout was notable for Mainoumi's revolutionary tachi-ai. Instead of a frontal collision, he leaped laterally with such momentum that he nearly soared over Kitakachidoki's head, reappearing behind him before touching the ground. Kitakachidoki immediately tried to grab his belt, but Mainoumi blocked the attempt, positioned his arm over his rival, and swept behind Kitakachidoki's right knee while twisting him to the left, causing him to fall. Number 6. Mainoumi vs. Kyokudozan in the Kyushu Basho, 1991. Mainoumi stepped back during the tachi-ai and shifted to the side, drawing Kyokudozan into pursuit with thrusts. Eventually, Mainoumi slipped under Kyokudozan's right arm and secured a firm left-hand grip on his mawashi. In one fluid motion, he twisted his body to the right, pulling down and inward to execute a devastating shitate nage that sent Kyokudozan crashing to the ground. Number 7. Mainoumi vs. Musoyama in the Aki Basho, 1993. After an aggressive tachi-ai from Musoyama, Mainoumi initially tried to evade, but then opted for a low stance to attempt a grip. As they disengaged multiple times, Musoyama unleashed a barrage of Tsuppari thrusts, but Mainoumi persistently sought to close in from below for a hold. During one of these close exchanges, Mainoumi ducked under Musoyama's left arm, securing a left-hand grip. He then pivoted to the right, executing a shitate nage that hurled the promising young wrestler to the ground. Number 8. Mainoumi vs. Terao in the Akebono 1991. This bout was a technical masterclass between two smaller wrestlers. Terao tried to keep Mainoumi at bay with a flurry of thrusts to the chest and face, preventing any grip. Mainoumi, the warehouse of techniques, countered with a shitate nage attempt, but Terao expertly defended with precise balance shifts. At the bout's climax, with both teetering on the edge, Mainoumi capitalized on Terao's overextension and applied a lightning-fast kiri kaishi, placing his knee behind Terao's leg and twisting to throw him backward. Number 9. Mainoumi vs. Wakashoyo in the Natsubasho 1994. Mainoumi quickly ducked, slipped under Wakashoyo's left arm, and grabbed him while pressing his shoulder into his torso, executing a Saka Watari, a rare technique combining a limb lock with an angled body thrust. He attempted it twice on Wakashoyo's left arm, but was forced to switch to the right arm, where he successfully applied the move twice more, ultimately expelling his opponent from the ring. Number 10. Mainoumi vs. Tomonohana in the Akebono 1994. As the two smallest wrestlers in Makuuchi, this bout featured Mainoumi in his first and only tournament as Komusubi after reaching Sanyaku that September. He began cautiously, trying to maintain distance, while Tomonohana mirrored the strategy with a barrage of Tsuppari to the chest. Mainoumi angled away to avoid direct pressure and find a weakness. When they finally locked in a grip battle, Mainoumi penetrated Tomonohana's defense with an inside grip on the mawashi. Using his right leg as leverage, he lifted Tomonohana in a kiri kaishi, twisting to project him backward and out of the dohyo. After retiring, Mainoumi shocked the sumo world by choosing not to become a coach, a controversial decision during a period of declining popularity for the sport. Instead, he built a career as a television personality and commentator for NHK. He also received offers to enter politics, but consistently turned them down. He even ventured into Hollywood, appearing under his real name in the 2005 film Memoirs of a Geisha. In 2015, he published the book Why Can't the Japanese Become Yokozuna?, analyzing how the determination of Mongolian wrestlers allowed them to dominate sumo's highest ranks, contrasting with the more comfortable lives of Japanese youth. During my time as a rikishi, I always told myself that when I lost, it was because I hadn't figured out how to win, not because my opponent was bigger. The dohyo is round, not square. Why? And why are there no weight classes in sumo? The answer is that there are ways to win, even against a much larger opponent. My message to smaller rikishi is to study the art of winning more deeply, he said, reflecting on the challenges of his size. Mainoumi Shuhei rewrote the rules with every step he took. In a sport often dominated by brute strength, he proved that intellect and mastery can topple mountains. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the Sumo Spirit channel for more content. See you in the next video.